But Element Ele and featuring Bruce Melody. These are the guys who have actually redefined music from the other part of 250 from Kigali, Rwanda. That is Tombe bringing in the background at only 26 minutes to the hour of 7 p.m. where we shall be saying bye to you right now. Allow us let you know of the topic that we are yet to talk about. Now, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about Ugandans who work abroad. Ugandans who work abroad, those who are in UAE, those who are in Qatar, those who are in Dubai. There is Dubai and UAE? Or there is Dubai?
Arab Emirates, then Dubai.
Then Abu Dhabi is found where? Abu Dhabi is found in UAE or is in found in...
zirabuza the United Arab Emirates aliyoza ulikumbuza
okay. I'm trying to ask you because you have friends that side.
Yeah, I have.
Who usually beat Ruseke?
No, not Ruseke guy. They are my brothers from the other side and the sisters from the other side. Kuna bachiga batayibitu. Our brothers are social workers abarakora Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, of course za Qatar, nobody Canada, nobody
UK, USA,
Israel. So they are all over the world. There are nobody Bangkok. So those brothers of
but those who are in Thailand are also Thailand has this.
Nobody China and Vietnam.
Okay, well, Monk, what do you think are some of the problems that these guys are facing? Because the other day we saw one who died from there. There is a girl who was narrating a story that they call them the papas that side. Akamwere Zembwa. And they used to do things that I cannot say live here on air.
Yeah.
Would you light me up on some of the problems that these Kadamaz are facing? Maybe someone who would love to go there. Before you go there, first be in the know the things that you are likely to face before you leave your home.
Now, as they go there, they sign contracts with these recruitment companies.
Yeah, firstly, enlighten to me how they actually go.
Of course, they sign contracts with these recruitment companies. Then they go. But before they go, even they face problems before they have gone the other side.
Before going?
Yeah, because you pay your money and they delay you to go. And the moment you keep at the agency is the moment you keep not earning. Most of those are scammed.
Okay,
they take you to housings, then they process your document, then after you don't travel, you keep in Kampala.
They scam you.
Yeah,
that is one. Before you even go to Abu Dhabi,
so you might not even go there.
So how should we mitigate that? They are supposed to look for these trusted
legit companies that of course take them abroad.
They are registered from the Ministry of Labor in Uganda.
Yeah, because we've seen this saga of Sky Pins.
Of Don Chris.
But for him, when he was of course he was like, mine is not a recruitment agency, it is a travel company.
But at first it was
it was a travel company.
It was a travel company.
Yeah, then, it was actually Skyping is Travels.
Yeah,
something.
It was Travels. But then he was recruiting even those ones that were going to work as Kadamaz across. So I don't know on what criteria, because if he scams you, there is no way you'll be like, because he's taking tourists and those people out there to do touring and come back. And for you, you're registering it to go and work abroad. So when they scam you there, it is you that is not.
Because a lot of people were scammed. A lot of people were scammed.
Because according to Baram's speech yesterday, it is alleged that it was around 2 billion
shillings that was scammed from Ugandans.
Yeah. And Baram is trying to mitigate things such that Don Chris comes back safely, then sells his apartments and whatever, then refunds the people and registers official, because he had no license even. So of course,
of both the travel company and the recruitment company.
yeah, he was claiming it was too expensive for him 20 million. Imagine, it was expensive for him 20 millions to get a license, but he scammed 2 billion. Can you imagine? So of course, when we get back the point, yaba Kadama across there, of course most of them barayikayo mu njezi bari kuza gukoramo ushange conditions zitaba favorable nko kuzazira contract. And when a company takes you to a certain housing, you have to work there for 2 hours, 2 years or 1 year according to what you've signed before. So kubarayikayo sometimes bashanga bitari favorable batorokemo. Ati mukutorokamu is where all those problems come, because urawa rugire mu Uganda urima mizi boy uramanya nebyamememe kunga kurora waza gukora otine okora agire ngo ati haronda kwatigwe kisa.
Also Monk, there is something that has been raised by most guys who work abroad of taxation and those financial regulations. You realize down here proposed the tax measures targeting Ugandans working abroad have sparked a big controversy with some urging that they are unfair and they are very, very and very high, which actually discourages those guys who are working outside. You are outside, you are earning like let's say 1 ma, but after cutting those taxes both for Uganda and that foreign country, and probably the agency, this is the person who is returning back home at an age. No. You remember the story of Ichuli? Yeah. He spent 5 years in Sweden. He came back with 500 Ugandan shillings.
No, it depends on how you're spending your money. Bakushashura. Just those sides of value added tax, it is all allegations, because when you go to Uganda's constitution, they tax abarakora abroad.
I think it's under. They are still proposing it, because they want them to start paying taxes.
But I think that is very exploitative.
But it is like not yet. It is not yet approved.
It's not yet a law.
These guys, they already pay tax in those countries.
No, just companies in Zozirabiba. That's what I was telling you. Companies zirakufera because wakutayo sometimes arabara tambura at a free cost with the hopes ngubakora kuriya they will keep cutting their salary monthly. So abona je no barabona buzibu after bakatoroka bakaba batoroche bakaruga mu companies bakaba ababurisho.
Before you even go there in those countries, just know there is what we call exploitation and abuse. Some people have been, like I told you, sexually abused, exploitative working conditions like working many hours. Some people have been trafficked.
Yeah, human trafficking is also there.
You remember the other guys they took to Myanmar there, and they found themselves amidst the war. Abantu bakabya kuno mu Uganda bakubatwara kolerokwe. The next thing they saw, they were in a war. There was a country that was fighting with Myanmar, and who were fighting on behalf of Myanmar, they were Ugandans. They had gotten from Uganda. So that exploitation and abuse, I think, are some of the issues that government should look into, and they can actually curb or bachihiro chimwe.
No, most of the times there is no law in government that forces people to go and work abroad. It is you out of your will that feels like in Uganda there is less.
You've been looking for greener pastures.
And I want much money. So you end up going abroad. Then if you find some conditions are not favorable, you be like, this is extremely dangerous. I have to get away. So you find them, they terminate contracts forcefully, and they are wanted by police in those countries. Most of, because if you terminate, you have no working document, no visa, because everything is always left at the agency office. Kwenda wamara kukora, you come back, bakute mu kindi kizu ninga, you go back, you come back to Uganda.
How can we mitigate these very problems that we've said, and probably those that we've not said? How can we overcome these problems so that these people can actually have a good way to work abroad and maybe not being disturbed?
By the way, I think it is the role of the government Ministry of Gender and Social Affairs. That ministry should do. Of course, work hand in hand with those embassies across kugira ati abana abanya-Uganda baza in good conditions, because bazakora aba Kenya, aba Tanzania n'aba Ethiopia, those people working abroad, they are always favored kubanga government ziraba supporting in one way or the other.
Over to you, Tasha. How can we have these problems that we've talked about? Those people are working abroad. How can we have them overcome?
Maybe I think these government officials or the lawmakers, they just simply come and talk about something and it ends there, like the usual Uganda that we used to. There's no enforcement of laws. We just see laws coming and being put in place, but they're not enforced. We've seen these people being killed out there, and we've seen bodies being dropped in the country. We've seen parents crying. We've seen so many things. So I think we have nothing to do aside the lawmakers coming up and being strict on these companies that actually take these people, putting strict laws on them, and then I think that way we could reduce on whatever is happening.
Yeah, so true. Like having these governments having or developing bilateral labor agreements that really favor these workers, like negotiating agreements with countries to ensure fair treatment and protection of Ugandan workers who are abroad, and also maybe to improve labor laws, like you've just said, and regulations. Strengthening those labor laws. Those people who go outside there and they are sexually abused, what have they done to those people that have abused them? I think such laws should be put in place that can also address these very problems are facing these very people. Maybe to promote skills development this side, because you reach the other side, because our education here in Uganda is more theoretical.
Not practical.
So promoting those skill development centers here so that people go no mayanka hero mwana na rugabuto akoma kuvuga motoka. But you're here, you stop on studying mechanics in physics. When you bring the mechanics that you study in physics to life, it no longer works. So, investing in skills development and vocational training to equip these workers with relevant skills for the job market. What you saying?
By the way, these Kadamaz and Sekadamaz, it is always 3-0. It is always 3-0 for them. Working conditions abroad, the government of Uganda and their parents and relatives, their parents and relatives are not supporting them at all, because these young boys and girls, after working and receiving their salary monthly, they send money back home. But the people they have sent money back to, they use it for their needs,
selfish desire.
Then when those girls and boys come back, they find there is nothing, like any penny, or they be like, buy for me this and that and the other, then it all goes to waste.
By the way, Tasha, you've talked about these people who later die abroad, Bakora. I think also in a move to improve the Kadamaz and every other person that is working abroad from Uganda, I think the government should provide assistance, most especially when it comes to guys working abroad, including emergency support and those repatriation services. You realize that there is a guy, a comedian who actually died in the USA, and people had to contribute money from Uganda so as to fund the transportation of the body back to Uganda. But now if the government puts a provision that if someone loses life from there, let be the government, because repatriating a body from outside to Uganda, it is way
more costly.
It is very expensive,
because you go there when you're alive with a passport only living. When you're dead, they have to process another passport for the dead body.
Hey, they oh my God, they process a passport for a dead body even if you had the one when you're still alive.
That's what I heard. When you go there ohulire ejo passport yo hulire nejo, but when you're dead, there is how the immigration still handles that dead body of yours. And
not like when
that's
you're
why,
alive.
that's why it is always expensive to repatriate the bodies from there. Kubanga urana ba ministers abazagayo nawe na yafa na ba ministers ninga abantu bakuru mu government nabo kubafaga it always takes long to repatriate their bodies because hariho some certain
Procedures
they follow to bring back a dead body.
Well, that's all we can talk about the Ugandans working abroad, the things you're supposed to know before going there, and maybe these issues, how can we actually overcome them so as we have a well working condition for these guys outside. Mark, you can give us your last words, and we call it a day. We only have 11 minutes to the end of our show.
Of course, for those that came in after the introduction, more promotions again, and I take this opportunity.
What in the energy?
Tinyira energy kandi unangamba urujungu gwinje nkomembogo no. So of course abayija naye yanjwire amazina ndasigana ni monk promotions kandi kuza kunkotinga no mu rukiga I will not accept.
No,
ndenda kumubatiza monk of course.
No, let him quote. You first bring up your quotation that you
no alina kunkotinga kubaja ngo abayija naye yanjwire ngo ndasigana ni monk.
Tell people about 2026 too.
Of course 2026 of course 2026 we are voting on one candidate. Dani na basa
na kanta kongatoka teka hiri ku TikTok chichi
omuyayo
chichi karebiro rapostinga ha TikTok birakoma hanuya.
Is it my mandate also to
you man of
course turukutera karuru turukatera umwe bembezo umwe wenga mayirida awalida yuwalida dani nabasa musinguzi arabibasa nkizina geye nabibasa so basa kuzana office ye hari yagura tora full gospel mpaho utwariye bizibu byawo
inshonga zawo ziteke
bucyari kare
kwenda yaza mu parliamentary zo yatandikira
we yaba ngeno yamara kora budget mu office yawe harimo paso ejimpa nkanye nshonga neje it is not addressed take it on the floor of parliament niwo gurida wawe dani nabasa musinguza
just daka sanga kugundi ku TikTok. I want you to tag me.
Yeah.
Tag me too.
And
tag the radio as well.
And the PLO.
Everyone here.
Kadamaz Radio UG. Okay, thank you so much for being part of the Hills the Bender. Of course, we look forward to hosting you every other single day. We'll catch you again tomorrow 3 to 7 p.m. and have yourselves a good night.
I just want to let people know that probably if you have an issue with me, or you hate me, or you do what, me, I don't care. That is your problem. You can't kill my energy. Me, I'm always positive. Yeah, so
don't be like Monk who is always negative.
Yeah,
no,
me,
nyowa boranyanga kirayambiwe kubanga nyowe kunyanga tindarara ko wanyanga cyatuma narara ko nyinga sibe oranyanga ngumenda ryango moke njire nakabiri kabonere osigaro nyigire
this guy.
Ndenda kugambira oriya guy akagaruka katurabiza mwe gare ndisho
ugutiyo mbasa na wakishiza kashanga ndi kugomoka mwanya gwo kuboha.
But they humbled you this time.
No. Where do you get the audacity to say I was humbled?
Because you were here. We saw you. We had you speak.
Nkatora matinchashobora kubesiga
neja
ndi mumbera neja nsibire kwe ntakarire naye bigo kujya
Well, you guys they won't finish it, but all I want you to know is that no one is coming to save you, so you have got to learn how to save yourself and learn how not to get in situations that need saving.